Quotes from Ambrose Bierce.
Anoint V. To grease a king or other great functionary already sufficiently slippery.
Anointing a king is like greasing an already slick wheel. It's more for show than necessity. Architect. One who drafts a plan of your house and plans a draft of your money. An architect designs your home while cleverly draining your wallet.
Ardor N. The quality that distinguishes love without knowledge. Ardor is the fiery passion of love, even when you don't fully understand the other person.
Beauty N. The power by which a woman charms a lover and terrifies a husband.
Beauty is a woman's magic that enchants her lover and keeps her husband on his toes.
Bride, a woman with a fine prospect of happiness behind her. The quote humorously suggests that a bride leaves her single life behind, hoping for happiness ahead. Convent, a place of retirement for women who wish for leisure to meditate upon the sin of idleness.
A convent is where women go to relax and ironically ponder the sin of doing nothing.
Corporation, an ingenious device for obtaining profit without individual responsibility. Corporations make money while letting individuals avoid personal blame for any mistakes.
When men of reason go to bed.
Dawn is when the logical thinkers finally hit the sack, leaving dreamers to welcome the new day.
Then a period of 24 hours, mostly misspent.
A day is 24 hours, often wasted, reminding us to make the most of our time.
Death is not the end. There remains the litigation over the estate.
Even after we pass, our belongings spark lively debates among the living. Destiny, a tyrant's authority for crime and a fool's excuse for failure.
Destiny is often used by tyrants to justify wrongdoing and by fools to explain their failures. Education N. That which discloses to the wise and disguises from the foolish their lack of understanding.
Education reveals true knowledge to the wise but hides ignorance from the foolish.
Eulogy. Praise of a person who has either the advantages of wealth and power or the consideration to be dead.
A eulogy is praising someone who either has wealth and power or is simply no longer alive.
Experience is a revelation, in the light of which we renounce our errors of youth for those of age.
As we grow older, we trade youthful mistakes for new ones, but each misstep helps us learn and evolve.
Faith, belief without evidence in what is told by one who speaks without knowledge, of things without parallel.
Faith is trusting in something or someone despite lacking proof or comparable experiences.
Famous, conspicuously miserable.
Being famous often means people notice your unhappiness. Forgetfulness, a gift of God bestowed upon debtors in compensation for their destitution of conscience.
Forgetfulness is like a divine gift, letting those in debt feel a bit lighter, free from guilt's heavy chains. Friendless, having no favors to bestow, destitute of fortune, addicted to utterance of truth and common sense.
Being friendless means lacking wealth or favors, but having the freedom to speak truth and common sense.
Future, that period of time in which our affairs prosper, our friends are true, and our happiness is assured. The future is a hopeful time when everything goes well, friends are loyal, and we're truly happy.
Happiness, an agreeable sensation arising from contemplating the misery of another.
Finding joy in knowing others have it worse is a cheeky way to feel better about our own struggles. Inventor, a person who makes an ingenious arrangement of wheels, levers, and springs and believes it's civilization.
An inventor combines clever gadgets and believes they've advanced civilization.
Irreligion, the principal one of the great faiths of the world. Irreligion is humorously called a faith because even lack of belief can unite people.
It is evident that skepticism, while it makes no actual change in man, always makes him feel better. Doubting things doesn't change us, but it sure does boost our mood.
Jealous, Adj. Unduly concerned about the preservation of that which can be lost only if not worth keeping.
Jealousy means worrying too much about losing something that's not truly valuable.
Lawsuit, a machine which you go into as a pig and come out of as a sausage.
A lawsuit grinds you down, turning you from something whole into something processed and unrecognizable.
Learning N, the kind of ignorance distinguishing the studious. Learning is what makes studious people aware of how much they still don't know. Liberty, one of imagination's most precious possessions.
Imagination thrives in freedom, letting your mind explore without limits or restrictions.
Litigant, a person about to give up his skin for the hope of retaining his bones.
A litigant risks everything in a legal battle, hoping to keep what truly matters.
Love, a temporary insanity curable by marriage.
Love is a wild ride that marriage tames into everyday companionship.
Mad. Affected with a high degree of intellectual independence.
Being mad means having your own unique way of thinking beyond the ordinary.
Mayonnaise, one of the sauces which serve the French in place of a state religion.
Mayonnaise is as essential to the French as religion is to some cultures. It's all about deep-rooted tradition.
Meekness. Uncommon patience in planning a revenge that is worthwhile.
Meekness is cleverly waiting to plan the perfect revenge.
Men become civilized, not in proportion to their willingness to believe, but in proportion to their readiness to doubt.
People grow more sophisticated by questioning things, not by just accepting them blindly. Ocean, a body of water occupying about 2/3 of a world made for man, who has no gills. As the ocean covers most of Earth, yet humorously reminds us it's not exactly built for us land dwellers.
Painting, N, the art of protecting flat surfaces from the weather and exposing them to the critic. Painting is about covering walls from rain, but leaving them open to people's opinions.
Patience, N, a minor form of despair disguised as a virtue. Patience often hides the sadness of waiting by pretending it's a good quality.
Patriotism, combustible rubbish ready to the torch of anyone ambitious to illuminate his name.
Patriotism is like dry kindling, easily ignited by those seeking fame through fiery acts.
Perseverance, a lowly virtue whereby mediocrity achieves an inglorious success.
Perseverance helps average efforts succeed, even if the victory isn't glamorous.
Photograph, a picture painted by the sun without instruction in art.
A photograph is nature's effortless masterpiece created by the sun's light.
Positive, edge, mistaken at the top of one's voice.
Being confident and loud doesn't always mean you're right.
Prescription, a physician's guess at what will best prolong the situation with least harm to the patient. A doctor's best guess to help a patient feel better without making things worse.
Present, N, that part of eternity dividing the domain of disappointment from the realm of hope.
The present is a bridge connecting past regrets to future dreams. Religion, a daughter of hope and fear, explaining to ignorance the nature of the unknowable.
Religion is like a comforting story that tries to explain life's mysteries to those who don't have all the answers.
Revolution, N, in politics, an abrupt change in the form of misgovernment.
A revolution just swaps one lousy government for another, but in a hurry. Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you will ever regret.
Speaking in anger feels powerful, but often leads to words you'll wish you hadn't said.
Success is the one unpardonable sin against our fellows.
Success often makes others envious, turning your achievements into an unforgivable sin in their eyes.
Sweater N, garment worn by child when its mother is feeling chilly.
A child wears a sweater not because they're cold, but because their mom is feeling chilly.
The best thing to do with the best things in life is to give them up.
True joy comes from sharing life's greatest gifts with others. The gambling known as business looks with austere disfavor upon the business known as gambling. Business people often frown upon gambling, but in many ways, their work involves similar risks and uncertainties.
The slightest acquaintance with history shows that powerful republics are the most warlike and unscrupulous of nations.
Even strong republics often start wars, showing that power can lead to aggressive and sneaky behavior.
The small part of ignorance that we arrange and classify we give the name of knowledge. We call the tiny bits of unknown that we organize knowledge, though there's much we still don't know. To apologize is to lay the foundation for a future offense.
Saying sorry now might just be paving the way for messing up again later.
To be positive is to be mistaken at the top of one's voice.
Being overly confident can sometimes mean loudly believing in a mistake. Vote, the instrument and symbol of a freeman's power to make a fool of himself and a wreck of his country.
Voting gives people the power to make choices, even if those choices can sometimes lead to mistakes or chaos.
War is God's way of teaching Americans geography.
War forces Americans to learn about new places, highlighting their geography knowledge gaps.
Who never doubted, never half believed. Where doubt is, there truth is. It is her shadow.
Doubt is like truth's shadow. Without a little doubt, you can't fully believe or understand the truth.
Wit, the salt with which the American humorist spoils his intellectual cookery by leaving it out.
Wit is like salt. Without it, an American humorist's jokes fall flat and lack flavor.
Women in love are less ashamed than men. They have less to be ashamed of. Women in love embrace their feelings openly, while men often hide theirs, fearing vulnerability.